dude's an asshole, man. That dude's an asshole and he knows it.
From the mean streets of Brooklyn to the rough neighborhoods in Boise, Idaho, we now present the Goonberg Report. Hello, this is Mayor Goonberg, and this is the Goonberg Report. They want to address something in the black community that they don't want me to talk about, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Today we're going to talk about how black folks don't want to actually solve any problems, and this is what they want me to do right there. What I want to tell you is, the problem is in the so-called, quote-unquote, this conscious community, which is really the unconscious community. All they want to do is make money, and I don't disparage that. Everybody got to eat, but they don't. They're not helping anybody. They're it's nothing but a bunch of fuckery and tap dancing through all the stream platforms. You got people banging out. Like, if you disagree, look, you can disagree with me with all you want. I don't care. But some of these, it's like. They take it too far. They turn it into the rap game, into the street game. It's like, why you're supposed to be helping people? If they're on some. This is the result of matriarchy. They're on some female bullshit. Like, if another man disagrees with me, I'm not saying shit. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Now, if we want to have a debate about what I'm talking about, cool. Disagreeing with me is one thing, cool. But I'm not going to say something for another grown man to say, well, that's fucking stupid, this because, this, that, and the first. If you're coming at me like a woman, I'll say what I have to say. I'll leave that conversation alone. Because unfortunately, the black community, most of these men were brought up with single mothers. And these single mothers instill them with the same mentality that they have. So now when you debate some of these men, and I'll use that term loosely, but you can tell when you debate them, they'll call you names, they'll say you're stupid or you're broke or something. When I see that, automatically the conversation stops. I'll let them have the last word like I do the bitches, and it is what it is. That's why you'll see a lot of guys say, how come you ain't, debating? Well, you're not debating. You want to call names, you want to act like you're female representatives, you want to act like a grown man with a coochie, go ahead. I do not partake in that. I'll reserve myself to actually helping people. What I found out in my old age? Black people do not want to take. Now, when I say this, I have to explain this to some people because people don't understand this. When I say black people, I don't mean everybody should know this. I don't mean all. I do not know all 60 million of you. I know there are a lot that are taking it serious and trying to help. That being said, it's just that they don't want to help you. They want to come up here, tap dance on YouTube. Don't forget to pay. Don't forget to PayPal. Don't forget to Patreon. Don't forget to donate. Don't forget to this. Don't forget to that. But then you listen to their message, you're like, you're not telling me something I didn't already know. And a lot of people up here, because they've never been anywhere, never been outside their project or their house or their block or their street, they don't know this. They act like they're all surprised and stuff. Or like the one I saw one video, they're teaching people how to. They were teaching people what the shea butter deal. I'm like, yeah, another pyramid scheme. That's all we need in a black community. But back to my original preface. Black people do not want help because you know why? It requires black people to take a long, hard look in the mirror and then do something to adjust yourselves. Now, I'm not going to go in on black women because they're the worst of it, but I'm going to say black people in general. They do not want to look at themselves. They always want because if you're a black person trying to really help and you say something, people will come up with all these deflections and all the excuses, and I'm like, I'm not worried about all that. You can worry about all that. That's your business. I'm worried about the people I'm trying to help. That's who I'm trying to worry about. I'm not worried about what Joe Schmo does. I'm not worried what Victor does. I'm not worried what Susan, how she does. I'm worried about the people I'm worried to help about. And a lot of these guys on YouTube, I'm going to say a good 80% to 80 to 90, numbers fluctuate, plus or minus 6. I'm going to say a good 80% of people on YouTube, and Facebook for that matter, they're just doing it for the money. They're not doing it really to help you. Like it's how it is. People say, well, what are you doing it for? I said, look, If you go on my one channel, and if you know my voice, you know who I am. I got tons of videos showing you how you make it through life. But you don't really, like, black people don't really want to hear that. What they want to hear, they want you to rub their belly. They want you to pat them on the head. They want you to tell them, well, okay. And you know what this stems from? This stems from matriarchy. It stems from the old saying, and I'm sure a lot of people heard their mothers and grandmothers say this, you can be anybody you want to be. Well, that's right to a point, but then after a certain while, you got to wake the fuck up and realize this is the realities of life. You can't be that fire person. You're not going to be that model. You're not going to be that football player. You need to adjust and adapt. And that's the problem with a lot of black people. They don't want to hear that shit. What they want to hear keep going. Like a messed up quote is there's like 43% of black men do not have kids. Now, in the 90s and 2000s, black men we had to look at ourselves real hard because of all the shit that was going down. And a lot of us had to look hard in the mirror. We had to adjust our lives, and we had to help out. And and that's what happened. Because that number, 43% of black men don't have kids, that wasn't like that back in the 90s and 2000s and the 80s. I'm sure that was probably like half of that number. And I'm being generous. It's probably like maybe 10 to 15%. But a lot of black guys are coming to the fact of, you deal with these robots. You don't want to go to court. You're going to go to court. If you're not married, you're going to court. Because you're going to take you to the you-know-who. That's their quote, not mine. But a lot of black men don't want to have kids right now. A lot of black men are going traveling, and you know, if you got your head on your shoulders, the world's your oyster. But back to not wanting help. The fact that they want help is I had like my one brother. He's a businessman. He got his degrees. He got all that. He literally had a system for people to all make money in businesses. They didn't want to hear that, and it's legit because it's a business practice. They just don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear, like, they'll shop. Here's what they'll do. They'll shop at the hair store owned by the Asians, and they'll give them they'll pay them for a product. They'll go to the Arab gas station, and especially if they see somebody who they know, they act like big willies. They can pay $15 in gas. Give them a 20, say keep the change. I've seen that happen. But when they go to a black-owned store, they want the homeboy or homegirl hookup discount. I'm like, wait a minute. Then they say, well, the Asian shops are cheaper than yours. And when they don't understand, a lot of Asians are co-ops. So they all get together. Black people don't co-op like that. Most places don't co-op like that. Even kind of to a point, the Jews don't co-op like that. They just happen to spend their money in their neighborhood. Like the Jewish people, their money their money circulates their neighborhood between 17 and 22 times. Black folks is like 5 times, they were saying. And it's reality. Or if you point out bad behaviors in people that everybody knows is bad. Like, my point is, like, as far as dating, just a couple of black chicks say, well, black men, yada, yada, this, that, and the third. And I said, look, I don't like black people. The minority reflects on the majority. I mean, the majority reflects on the minority. It's a bad matriarchic scheme. And number 2, I said, look at today. You got sisters, and I want to call this out. You got sisters wearing tight-ass clothes for no fucking reason, wearing fucking 15 filters on Facebook or makeup, or half naked. And like I said, if that's your job, if you're a model, go for it. If you're an actor, go for it. But you have to literally get paid, or if you're up and coming to do it, that's you cool. But not all these ugly chicks are like that, you know. And that's the problem I have. They're not realistic. And then after they you know, after their coochie's been worn out, they want to come to guys like me, say you don't want to get with me. You're fucking right. I don't want to get with you. I'm still I'm almost 50 years old. I go to the gym 5 days a week. I don't go out of shape like that until October. Then, like between October and December, I do it. I kind of fall off the wagon, but not bad. I get back in shape within like 2 to 3 months, like that. Most black women don't go to the gym. Most 83%. This was the number 5 years ago. 83% of black women are overweight, and 69% are obese. If you want to live like that, cool, but I don't want a chick like that. And then when you tell them this, they want to say, well, the government makes up different numbers. I'm like, no, they don't. You got 25-year-olds as big as Big Mama now. How you going to be Big Mama at 25? Then you get mad because you die at 45. You already got diabetes and high blood pressure and all that. 25 years old because you lay around and do nothing. You expect to not have it when you turn 45? It's just worse, and I don't want to deal with it. But I still, people say, why do you do what I do? Like, I help people, but I don't have to, like, a lot of people want you to bang the drum when you do something. Like, I literally heard a video, and this is one of the dumbest shits I ever heard in my life. He said, this guy was doing a video, he was critiquing another man. And I have no problem with you critiquing the man. If you can point out the faults and help him, cool. He was saying, I don't know why he has to be so silent in what he does. I looked at him, I said, that's a female. That's a female produced. That's a female inspired dude right there. Because number one, you don't have to beat on your chest to announce every move that you do. Some moves are preferably done in silence, and that's the problem. Like if you look at YouTube, a lot of these cats gotta like yell, "I want to do this, I want to do that." That's females. That's what females do. You're influenced by a female, and there has not been a society that has been successful under matriarchy. There hasn't. Joan of Arc even got killed. So what you trying to tell me? Don't say the Queen of England, because the Queen of England that's just the title. You can be the queen of your projects. Hey, go ahead. I don't care. But at the end of the day, matriarchy does not work for the black community, and black folks don't want to realize this. They'll deflect, they'll throw it off, but when you come down to solving hard problems, and you have to take a hard, deep look in the mirror, don't count on black folks to do it for themselves. Why do you think the government has to do everything? And the ones that can do it, they have no problem looking in the mirror and say, hey, we got to adjust this, and this. But it's the majority that says, you can be whatever you want to be. See, and I'm not saying other races don't do this, because they do. But it's not what I'm focused on. I'm not worried about that. That's the problem with people. That's like I say welfare. 42% of black people, black women, I'll say, 42% of households, I'll use that. That way you can't cry about it. A lot of you cry too much. But 42% of black households get welfare. Now, your quote to me is going to be, well, more white people get welfare than black people. That's because there's over 2 to 3 times more white people in the country than there are black people. So by numbers, we're pitiful. Hispanics are second, if not leading. Because if we count all the illegal aliens and all the ones coming to the country getting welfare, that puts them over the hump. They might probably be first. But black folks come at 42%. And you know what a lot of black people's reply is? Well, white people get more than we do. They don't get more than what you do. There are more of them to get what you do. You want to solve that problem? You want to solve the single childhood problem? You want to get these young boys in check, and you want to do everything? It's going to be some hard looks you got to take, and it's the hard looks that they don't want to take. So when you see a black person, talk to them first, because don't exclude everybody to help out. Get to see where they're at mentally. If they start blaming stuff on other people and won't accept their own failures and their own come-ups and how they want to help out, don't mess with them. Because I can't take them serious, and neither can you. This is Dr. I'm not Dr. I was going to say doctor. This is Mayor Goonberg, high up in the Boise, Idaho mountains, up in the Cascades. Yes, I am one of the only few black people living up here. I would say over and out. Thank you.